A new era has begun in Atlanta. The Falcons believe they have drafted what many call a generational quarterback in the 2023 draft. Bradley Ford is an improvising quarterback. He has great throw power and he can run. The Falcons believe that Bradley Ford can lead them back to the Super Bowl and they can finally avenge their 28-3 loss to the New England Patriots. The Falcons have draft capital and plenty of cap space to surround Bradley Ford with the tools he needs to get the job done. Many believe that the question is not if, but when Bradley Ford delivers them a Super Bowl. Stick around and find out. What's up, my Madden Rebuild Warriors? My name is David, bringing you version 2, whatever you want to call it, of the Atlanta Falcons scheme rebuild challenge. We went with Arizona to start off with in the first rendition. Now we move in alphabetical order here to the Atlanta Falcons. I expect this rebuild to be way more successful than the Arizona Cardinals. As you might know if you watched some of my previous videos, I believe that 3-4 wise, and maybe overall, that the 3-4 scheme that the Atlanta Falcons run on defense, their 3-4 playbook, is one of the best playbooks defensively in Madden Sims for Madden 23. I did a lot of testing. I believe someone told me in a comment on a YouTube video for it that I don't know what I'm talking about, but I ran a lot of tests, and I will say that I believe that the Atlanta Falcons defense is one of the best defensive playbooks you can use, especially if you build it right. Not to mention, I think their offense is super sneaky and really good, and I don't think that this rebuild will take as nearly as long as it will, or it did, to do the Arizona Cardinals ones, because that one was atrocious. This team has a lot of cap space and it needs a lot of help. We'll go over that, but I believe that we will have success early, and we won't be here for 2 videos that total from almost 4 hours, whatever it is. So let's go over the playbooks, speaking of them, and the schemes. So the offense is a West Coast zone run scheme, short passing, run game, has O-lines that is quick, and they use combo blocks to get their halfbacks moving through the holes. The defense is a disguised 3-4 that says the strength and its flexibility of its symmetrical lineup shines with disguised concepts and malleable fronts. This is my number one defensive playbook, this 3-4 playbook, and that's just the scheme, but that's pretty much sums it up. For the offensive playbook, it's built on zone run, West Coast scheme. The goal of it is to run the ball while throwing to intermediate levels. It sounds like you want to train more in the medium strength of passing. So I guess teams that struggle with defending the mid ball will definitely have trouble stopping this playbook. I believe this is a very underrated sim playbook, as I said before, and I'm again expecting way more success this time around as far as offenses goes. And we're also going to train the correct way. I did a couple videos on that if you want to check them out previously to this video, where I explain what you need to do training wise and traits wise to build your quarterback properly and maximize your team's playbooks and offense and have more consistency that leads to more wins and championships, in my opinion. And then lastly, let's talk about the defensive playbook. It's a multiple 3-4 scheme focused focuses on generating pressure from multiple directions. Linebackers are playmakers in the run game. To go over the schemes per position, the QB is an improviser. I'm going to give myself an eye roll here because we dealt with that with the Arizona Cardinals, and improviser is very hard to find. We eventually had to draft a scramble quarterback who was very close in scheme, an improviser, and quickly progress him to an improviser and build him up that way. Halfback is way better than it was in the Cardinals rebuild. You have an elusive back scheme. Fullback, who cares? It's utility though. Wide receiver is playmaker. Tight end is possession. The entire O-line is the same. All 5 positions are agile, which is good for us because we can move them around. Defense, both the left end and right end are power rush, while the defensive tackle, nose tackle, is a run stopper. Much like the Arizona Cardinals, the left outside linebacker is a power rush, while the right outside linebacker is a speed rusher. Both middle linebackers are pass coverage. Cornerback is man-to-man, and both safeties are hybrid. So I think this is a little bit easier than it is in Arizona because we were like all over the place. In Arizona, 4 members of the offensive line were pass protectors, while the right tackle was power run. The safeties weren't the same. The left end and the right end weren't the same. It was just a mess. So there you go. You will also see that we skipped the entire re-signing stage because there's 32 players that needed to be re-signed, and I said bye-bye, 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 bye-bye to all of them. Goodbye. We don't need you. So now we're just going to jump into free agency, but first let's go over probably our biggest needs. We have no fullback, tight end. We have a tight end, it's Kyle Pitts, and we have a wide receiver, it's Drake London. But they're not in scheme. We also don't have a quarterback yet, but you probably already know the answer to that. Our left tackle is 31 years old. We don't really have maybe the greatest left guard, even though I think he's star dev. Center we need. Right guard is really good. Chris Lindstrom is 91 overall, star dev, 26 years old. Right tackle, none. We absolutely have none. So we really need right tackle, and I think that's number 1 priority. I think we don't have a left end either, but we can always patch this in. Grady Jarrett is 30 years old and he's 87 overall. He's a right end. He's in scheme as a defensive tackle, but we'll just keep him at right end depending on who we draft and boost up his proper ratings in whatever the heck that is that the right end is. We need a left outside linebacker, right outside linebacker maybe. More corners and another safety and a punter. So those are our needs. Let's get into free agency and see what we get. And on our way to free agency, we were asked to pick up the option on AJ Terrell, and the answer is absolutely yes. AJ Terrell will be around here for the rest of the rebuild. So now it's on to our free agent signings. Miles Sanders, Marcus Peters, Raheem Mostert, McCole Hardman, Rashad Penny, Isaiah McKenzie, Blake Gillikin, Paris Campbell, Deion Jones, Trey Flowers, Herb Smith, Rudy Ford, Foster Moreau, Foster the People, Dean Lowry, Bilal Nichols, and Kevin Meacham Jr. A lot of depth, if not anything, 1-year guys. And we also, since we signed Miles Sanders, we got rid of Tyler Algier, who's not on scheme. Here we are at the 2023 draft. We have the 8th overall pick, but we have identified our quarterback. We believe he's generational. We want to go get him, so we're giving our 1st round pick and our 3rd round pick to move up to the number 1 overall pick, or we can select this man. You already know him. You've seen him in the beginning. He's an improviser. Bradley Ford. 3 A's and a B, and a hidden dev. 90 acceleration with 83 speed and 96 throwing power. 90 change of direction, 86 agility. My man is ready to win us a Super Bowl. I mean, right? Let's sim to the rest of the draft, to our next pick, and see what else we can add to this team. Alright, well, we definitely need a nose tackle, and this guy looks pretty good here. Dominique Dale. Hopefully he's a high overall because he doesn't have a hidden dev. I almost picked this corner before I picked that DT, and he's still sitting here. Javier Verdon. 6'4", 183, 94 speed, 90 acceleration, hidden dev. All 90s there. Love to see it. Then we're looking at this right end here. Very intriguing. He can play right outside linebacker for us. He's definitely that power rush outside linebacker we need. Plus he's hidden dev. It's awesome. Couldn't ask for anything more. Hopefully he has a high overall. Got to start building this O-line. This guy looks really good. Jacoby Gilmore. But he's not a hidden dev. That's unfortunate. So you don't want to see the rest of the draft picks, but we'll just go over the draft recap real quick. Yes, Bradley Ford is an 81 overall. He is a generational talent. He is so worth that first overall pick. I'm doing what the Falcons maybe should have done instead of drafting a running back in the real draft. Let me know if you think that was right. But we got the best player in this draft. There's no doubt about it. And like I said, it's very, very hard to get an improviser. And I saw, as you saw in the I keep wanting to say Atlanta, in the Arizona Cardinals rebuild. So we had to do what we had to do, because if it wasn't for drafting him, we'd have to hope that Jalen Hurts or somebody was in the free agency at the end of this coming season. And I don't want to do that. I want to get to winning and building up this offense and this team right away. And speaking of right away, we're at week 1. We are an 81 overall on offense. Offense is looking pretty good. Scheme-wise, we're 92 in the West Coast zone run scheme. And 100s for the disguise 3-4. Not bad. Not bad at all. Rocking the Atlanta playbooks as we're supposed to, as this is a scheme and playbook rebuild. It's not about realism as much as it is about seeing how to be successful with building within the scheme and on a team like this. Looking at the starting lineup, there you have Ford and Miles Sanders, Mostert, Penny, Matt Breida, just a lot of depth. We got, to pair with Drake London, we got Paris Campbell, Isaiah McKenzie, McCole Hardman. Irv Smith I signed him to a good deal because I'm anticipating I might have to trade away Kyle Pitts because he won't be in scheme. Beecham, Lindstrom, Dowman, Hennessy. All looking good. There's Dale, our rookie. Grady Jarrett, Dean Lowry. Of course, AJ Terrell and Marcus Peters. Guidry. The rookie Verdon, 6'4", baby. Paul. Trey Flowers, who we signed. There's the rookie hidden dev, Spence. We have Jones and Walker and Ebiketie. I believe that's how you say his name. I think Ebiketie starred dev, so that's actually pretty promising to see. But, if you've been around for my rebuilds before, as we always do, we show the sim for week 1 to see how we do. And we get the loss, unfortunately. Very unfortunate. I was hoping to see a win. I expect this team to do well. These are good playbooks, very good. Bradley Ford had a decent game. Didn't throw what he should have. Miles Sanders, yards per carry wise, was pretty good. Hardman had a good debut. I think we trained to throw too short. Like I said earlier, that I think this playbook operates well in the mid, but Ebiketie coming through there, so Baker Mayfield, ugh, gross. So there's week 1, and we'll see you at the bye. We are here at the week 7 bye. Let's take a look at the schedule, how we got here. Started off with a loss, right off 2 wins. Bradley Ford won Player of the Week in week 2 with 5 passing touchdowns. So he's showing some upside there. A little is inconsistent here. Let's look at the numbers. I mean, 8 touchdowns to 5 interceptions, not what I am expecting. We've had some injuries with Miles Sanders and the running backs so far. Need to get better there. The wide receivers aren't having the greatest of year. I think as the year progresses here, we will get better numbers as far as what the teams we are facing are doing as far as passing goes, so we can train correctly. Sacks, we're not doing so well either. I think everything goes together here where, you know, the better we train, the better we'll do, and we need more, you know, data from the other teams to get there. So I'm expecting improvement as this season goes on, and hopefully we can make the playoffs. So let's sim ahead to the end of the season, and then we will tally up how we did. So here we are at the end of the season. We did not make the playoffs, unfortunately. Let's check the stats real quick. Not liking what I'm seeing here as far as interception-wise from Bradley Ford. Miles Sanders needs to just do better, but he was in and out of the lineup, and you kind of tally up the numbers of Penny and Mostert. Probably get a good idea of what this playbook can offer as far as running back goes, but that slot position Paris Campbell was phenomenal for him. He was our best wide receiver. Who knows what could happen if I put a guy like Hardman or London that actually are the starting 2 wide receivers in the slot role moving forward next season, but look at Walker, 139 tackles. I'm telling you, this playbook is good. Sacks aren't where I expect them to be, but, you know, 1.5 sacks from Spence. That's not good. But this playbook, and like most playbooks, performs better and more consistent when you have the right talent. So we still have a bad defense that we need to work on. I mean, 27th in yards allowed. Offense is pretty good. It's a very decent offensive playbook, and I think defensively this playbook just needs the right players, and hopefully we add those players next season, this coming off season, approaching soon. Let's take a look at the numbers more closely here. Yeah, kind of just pass yards is pretty good. I mean, for a rookie, the pass yards are pretty decent. Just gotta, you know, limit those turnovers. I think we have a better record even limit those turnovers, but he's a rookie, so we'll see. Not bad. Not bad for year 1. I mean, if you remember the Arizona Cardinals first couple years, it was not pretty. This is miles ahead already. You know, the old Jeff Fisher 8-9. It's fine. Sometimes 9-8. I expect us to be way better than a fighting 500 record team going forward. Just gotta get the right additions. That's all it takes, man. But I'll take it. It's year 1. Looking at the Pro Bowl, Bradley Cooper. Yeah. Bradley Ford did not make it there, and Lindstrom made it. That's great. Other than that, I'm not sure we had anyone make it. Oh yeah, that's right. Walker made it. That's pretty good for him. Like it. Hey, Koo made it. Hey, we got a kicker. Nice. Let's go. Well, it's yearly awards time, so let's take a peek. Josh Allen wins MVP. We are not on that list at all. It's okay. Threw way too many interceptions. I kind of like how Madden did that this year. Paris Campbell in the slot, third wide receiver, getting on the list. You know, I'm gonna get confused because Bradley Ford, second. Oh, that tricky Buccaneers book does it again. Ferding gets third. I mean, it's fine that Bradley Ford didn't get it because he's already an X Factor. Bradley. As I do more of these rebuilds, I'm going to get confused at who I'm looking for every time. Oh, Chris Lindstrom. That's a big one right there. You know what that means. Dev increase. Abiketti. All right. Burden. Not bad. Young Koo. Let's go. Gotta have that kicker. I don't know if you get a dev upgrade for kickers, though. Maybe have to be younger. All right. We are jumping ahead here. Wasting no time. We brought in the big guns. Rashawn Gary, Quentin Williams, Cam Akers. Let's go. And that means let's go right to the draft.
Atlanta Falcons are now
Make our selection here. We need a right tackle. This guy looks like a beast. Joey Townsend. 2 A's, 2 B's, elites, and greats, and goods. And he's a hidden dev. Let's go. Joey Townsend, hidden dev. Agile offensive lineman. We need a safety. My man Ron Hawkinson, great name. Looking good. But no dev is unfortunate. It's unfortunate. Lance Farrell, another offensive lineman we can use.
now on the clock. The Giants.
I hope he has a high overall because no dev. All right, this man can play middle linebacker for us.
The Dallas Cowboys are now
And he's a hidden dev. Let's go. Dustin Morrison. Like it. All right, let's take a look at our draft recap. 1073. Hawkinson 75, even though he doesn't have the hidden dev. Lance Farrell 73 overall, even though he doesn't have the hidden dev. You know, these guys built up fast. We struck out on a Wall there. John Wall. But Dustin Morrison 67 overall. It's low overall, but I mean, he is a pretty late round pick, but we'll take the dev. I mean, this guy's going to be pretty good. Don't get me wrong. And he's going to start for us. So hopefully we can get some kind of a dev trait for him by the time the season's over. Let's take a look at the rest of the NFL. Trey Fisher, Denzel Bush, Marquise Peppers. Yeah, I mean, I don't think this draft was particularly amazing. This is the other safety I was considering over Hawkinson, but he's not a dev either. So I'm not worried about it. There's nothing you can do. Sometimes you hit 8 devs in a row. Shout out to our Cardinals rebuild. 8 devs in a row. Sometimes you don't. All right, so We're all the way up to week 1. Made it through the preseason. Look at our team. Doing well. Just gotta get one player fixed through progressions to get those all 100s in the scheme fit. Looking at our starting lineup, we got Miles Sanders and Bradley Ford, Cam Akers, and Rashad Penny. That's a strong running back room. Freaking Miles Sanders gets hurt all the time. Hardman, Campbell, McKenzie, Reggie James. Fuck your couch, bitch. Backing up Drake London. You got Pitts and Herb Smith, Max Williams. Townsend, the new rookie, and Lindstrom starting the other rookie at center. Went through that fast. You got Quinton Williams, the addition with Grady Jarrett. Moved Dale over to left end. Terrell Verdon. The rest of our cornerbacks aren't as good as our starting two. We got Hawkinson starting, the new man, Rashawn Gary. Got Jones, Morrison, Ebiketie, and Richie Grant is a star dev, I believe. So there's our team. And as we do, week 1, we are going to sim the first week and show you the results. And we get the win. Big time. 31-21. Let's check out the stats. Bradley Ford, 3 touchdowns, 333 yards, no interceptions. Miles Sanders, come on, Miles, 3.6 yards a carry. Do better than that. Kyle Pitts with the big game. Hardman, 2 tutties. Miles Sanders, 6 catches. All right. Quinton Williams getting a sack and a half in his debut. AJ Terrell with a pick. Love it. All right, so we're at the week 6 bye. We are flying through this rebuild here. Getting a little bit better at that, but if you would like to take a gander, we have 5 straight wins, and we are scoring some points, baby. We're moving this year. Yes, we are. Let's take a look at the stats. But this is what happens in the NFL. 19-2. That's that quarterback that's a generational talent. You see these quarterbacks take a big step forward in year 2, and that's when expectations are high, and that's when you see Super Bowls, baby. You see the Super Bowl appearances, those real runs. That's when you see guys that are going to be future great players in this league really take off as that year 2, and here we go. We're off to a great start. Paris Campbell not having the year yardage-wise so far he was, but we're getting some touchdowns, man. And like I said, the training's paying off the proper way here. Verdon's already got 3 picks. Terrell's got 2. Like I said, I'll say it again. I love this Atlanta 3-4 playbook. 3rd offensive yards, 4th defensive yards. I love both their playbooks. 1st in points scored. It has to be. 5th in points allowed. These playbooks are cooking. Love this 3-4 defensive playbook by Atlanta. Love their sneaky offensive playbook. So there you go. Take a look at some of the weekly awards. Bradley Ford threw 6 touchdowns in week 5. I mean, let's go. Yeah, he also had another week in there, week 4. Yeah, Bradley Ford, he's cooking, baby. Listen, you can complain about the playbook thing all you want with Madden, but it is what it is. So, here we are. We are in the playoffs. Let's take a look at the numbers. Almost 5,000 yards for Bradley Ford, 47 touchdowns and 12 interceptions, almost 70% completion percentage. Miles Sanders doing well. Cam Akers backing him up. Bradley Ford, 4 rushing touchdowns. I mean, that man, MVP considerations. Come on, let's go. Mecole Hardman, 1,200 yards. Kyle Pitts, 1,000. I would have liked to see some of those guys, some more 1,000-yard wide receivers, but it is what it is. Hey, man, they get everybody involved in this playbook. I like it. Not one guy over 100 yards, or 100 tackles. That's crazy. With Rashawn Gary, Grady Jarrett, and Quentin Williams, all double-digit sacks, and Verdon and Deion Jones leading the way with the picks. Oh, we got some interceptions, man. We've had to be leading the league in interceptions, but we're third in offensive yards, 11th in defensive yards. Got to be number one in scoring. First in scoring. Let's go. That's how you do it. Fourth in points allowed. Look at this. Look at it. Looking at some of the players of the week. Bradley Ford got in week 1. Week 4 with Rashawn Gary. Week 5. Quentin Williams got in week 7. Rashawn Gary got it again. Verdon got it as well. Let's go. Love to see it. Let's take a look at the numbers, a closer look. Pass yards, 5,000. Rush yards, like top 10, pretty good. Number 1 in points scored, 35 a game. That's incredible. Beating out the Bengals. Don't tell me that all these playbooks are overpowered, dude. Don't tell me. They're not. You can work with almost any playbook. Just got to do it the right way, in my opinion. You got to train the right way. First downs, number 1 in first downs. Love to see it. 14-3 record. Looking at the defensive yards. Pass yards allowed. A little high there, but that's what happens when you're winning ball games. But we're number 1 in rush yards allowed. Crazy. Look at that. At the top. 52 sacks. Get off me. Number 1 interceptions. Best defensive playbook there is. All right, so we beat Washington 27-20 in the first round of the playoffs. Let's take a look at the numbers. Bradley Ford, 366 yards and a touchdown. Not bad. Miles Sanders chipping in a touchdown. Got the fullback touchdown. Paris Campbell showing up big. Drake London showing up big. Everyone else just kind of chipping in there. Defensively, how did we do? Quentin Williams and Ron Hawkinson riding for 2 sacks, no interceptions. Commanders' playbook can be tough, man. So I'll take a win. I'll take it. Now we take on Chicago. Let's advance and see if we continue this run. And we win 21-17. So we're not putting up the points we were during the regular season, but that is okay. We'll take it. Take a look at the numbers. Just got to win, man. It's not about the stats in the postseason. Bradley Ford not having the best game. I mean, rating is 100, but still. Penny and Sanders both combining for over 120 yards and a touchdown. Ford chipping in another 22 yards. No 100-yard receiver, but you just got to get the job done, man. Let's see how we did on defense. Grady Jarrett and Epiketti and Dominique Dale coming in. AJ Terrell with an interception. Survive and advance. That's all you got to do. Doesn't matter how close it is. We love to see it. So now we're taking on the LA Rams. We're going to make a professional move here. This is pro level. The Rams playbook feeds 1 wide receiver, and that is Cooper Kupp, the football nerd. And you need to have your best corner in the slot to help slow him down, or else he's just going to go off, and you're not going to win. So we're moving AJ Terrell into the slot package here. This is a pro move. So I want to show you right here. Cooper Kupp is the slot man, and this playbook for the Rams feeds Cooper Kupp in that slot. 14-3 versus 15-2. Let's sim ahead. And the move pays off. We're going to the Super Bowl. We win 30-24. Let's go. Take a look at the stats. Well, Bradley Ford, over 400 yards, but 2 interceptions. It's okay. Miles Sanders with a touchdown. Penny and Ford chipping in. Receiving Paris Campbell. Holy smokes. We shut down their slot, and then our slot goes off. Love to see it. Over 200 yards and 2 touchdowns. What a find. What a pickup for free agency. Defensively, Sean Gary, Grady Jarrett, and Quinny Williams. Interior getting it done. AJ Terrell and Hawkinson coming in with interceptions. And with that, we are going to the Super Bowl in year 2 of this rebuild. Bradley Ford is the man. These playbooks are getting it done for us. And speaking of Bradley Ford, he is the MVP. Just beating out some guy named Woods for the Rams. And we get Coach of the Year. I wonder if that's because we have the #1 scoring offense. Who knows? That could be what gets it. And we shut down the Offensive Player of the Year by making the move to put AJ Terrell in that slot DB spot. Quinton Williams competing for Defensive Player. Ron Hawkinson, Defensive Player. #2. Let's go. Defensive Rookie. I'm sorry. What am I looking at? Best QB. Jerry Woods. Who the hell is Jerry Woods? But we just beat what's looking like a productive Rams team. Cooper Kupp. We shut down a really good tandem right there. Lindstrom wins it best O-line again. He will not go up again in depth. It would have been nice to get Hennessy there. But it is what it is. Aaron Donald. They had good years, man. Aaron Donald, their QB, their rookie QB, and Cooper Kupp getting it done. Rashawn Gary. That's a dev increase. Best linebacker. Love it. And we got the best DB with Verdon. Oh, man, we're getting some dev increases just in time for the Super Bowl. Hallelujah. Who's fighting there? There you go. Mecole Hardman's now a superstar. Quinton Williams now a superstar. Verdon now a superstar. And Richie Grant, surprisingly, up to a superstar. I don't know how that happened, but it did. Let's take a look at this Chargers team. They have some guy named Walter Moyer. Austin Eckler. I hope he has himself on his fantasy team. Is Xander Horvath like the best looking guy in face scan in Madden 23? That guy gets chicks. Got good hair. Grady Jarrett, Trey McKitty. I expect us to do well versus this team. I'm not going to lie. I mean, they got some decent pieces, especially on the offensive line. That left tackle needs help, though. Defensively, yeah, Frank Clark's older. I'm not impressed defensively. All right, well, they have Joey Bosa, so there's that, Joey Bosa. I mean, middle linebackers are kind of mids. They still have Khalil Mack, but he's been in the league for 10 years. A.C. Jackson, Asante Samuels, I would say there's their strength there. Yeah, I think we could definitely beat this team. Derwin James, yeah, of course. All right, boys, let's play the Super Bowl.
Madden
Madden Football is the home of the Super Bowl, and this historic matchup is brought to you by EA Sports. It's the Chargers and the Falcons, and it's coming up next.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. We count down to kickoff in what should be an epic one here, as it'll be the AFC champion LA Chargers taking on the champions from the NFC, the Atlanta Falcons. Hello again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin along with Charles Davis. And Charles, we take a look at this Falcons team as they interplay. It's been a good season for them so far. They're just looking to keep that momentum going forward.
They like their record. Now they want to increase it. A win here could really get the momentum going in the right direction.
All right, so here we are, beginning the game, 0-0 after 1. Not much is happening here. We finally get 3 points. We're on the board. Only 3 points in the first half between two teams. Up 10-7 in the fourth quarter. We take a 17-14 lead. Oh no, they take the lead. And we get it! Oh, at the last second. Let's go.
Yes, the Atlanta Falcons are the Super Bowl champions. And to the Super Bowl champions, they etch their name forever in NFL immortality.
That's pretty phenomenal right there. It actually gave me chills just to hear you say that, because immortality forever and ever. When you look in the record books, you'll see this team, you'll see their picture, that your name will be a part of it. That's got to be an incredible feeling, because it's been a long journey to get there, and now they get a chance to enjoy it.
All right, what a victory. Year 2, we get it done. The second year quarterback, turn MVP. What I tell you about these playbooks and this scheme for Atlanta, they got good playbooks. The best 3-4 defensive playbook, in my opinion. I'll keep saying it into the end of time. But their offensive playbook is very, very, very sneaky. Very, very sneaky. And, didn't put up the points we did it in the regular season in the playoffs, but defense certainly carried us to victory. Thank you for watching. I'm so glad that this didn't turn into a 4-hour, 2-episode rebuild. We're doing Baltimore next, so stick around for that. Check us out. I love this team. It's a great team. Wasn't a real high overall, and we got it done, man. And please like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.